Charge the mound time. David Robertson and the Texas Rangers lock in on a 1-year contract. And Jeff Passan with the report. I haven't seen the final money, but he said in the $11 or $12 million range, so we can just call it that. David Robertson's name actually came up, I believe, on yesterday's show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I bring him up for Kansas City? But
then
Yes.
brought him up.
I thought he was going to be more in the, I don't know, 8 or 9 range. Not that it's, I mean, come on, a few $1,000,000 of a difference in baseball is literally chump change for any ball club. But good for Robertson. He's, I believe, 38 years old. And remember, AJ, last year, he had a really good start with the Mets and then fell off a little bit with the Marlins and then bounced back again. I mean, this is a solid signing for Texas, right?
I think this is a great signing for Texas. It helps their bullpen. I mean, I don't know if they're obviously going to count on Spores and Leclerc to pitch the way they did in the postseason, but during the regular season, those guys weren't very good. So this is a veteran presence at the back end that Bruce Bochy can use the way Bruce Bochy does better than anyone else, uses bullpen. And you got to love adding a veteran guy that can close games for you to any team. And I think it's a great signing for the Texas Rangers and for David Robertson. You got what, $11 to $12 million to go to a place that's coming off a World Series championship. Good for David Robertson and good for the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, and I think not only is it good for them, they are now getting the best calves in baseball. So what people need to understand, I mean, even though he said JT Realmuto probably has better calves, but it's tough to see his calves when he's got shin guards on and he's, in a crouch all day. The guy, he has a solid cutter. He developed that cutter from Mariano Rivera. I'm not saying it's Mariano-like, but it's a really nasty pitch. He's got a nice breaking ball to go with it, and he'll sneak in a two-seamer in there as well. So he's not the overpowering David Robertson, but he's going to get the job done, and I'm so happy for this guy. I played with him for a couple teams. Now seeing players are getting the deals they want, it seems like, because I agree with you. You think about this a couple years ago, you're thinking about what, 5-6 year deal for 1 year, but now, almost getting double.
Or Mill, you're saying.
Or Mill,
right.
Sorry, for what they wanted. But yeah, he's a solid pitcher, and and he's on the back end of his career, and he's still doing it, which is great.
Yeah, that cutter, it's in the low 90s. Yeah, that curveball definitely still plays. I mean, you're right. The velo, I mean, yeah, it's maybe not prime David Robertson, but it's pretty close.
It's got a little stank to it, I call it.
Yeah, and it's pretty close. I mean, he resurrected his career, though. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's in his mid-30s. He had TJ.
Yeah.
And he disappeared for a couple years. And then he joined
went to the Cubs. Remember, he went to the Cubs. He went to the Cubs 2 years ago, and then he got traded, I believe, to the Phillies, right?
Yeah.
Last offseason, he signed, and then he ended up in the Marlins. And listen, I mean, this guy's still an effective reliever. Cutters and curveballs, man. That's the thing now. If you can throw a good cutter and you can throw a curveball to back it up, Mark Melancon made a career out of it. David Robertson's made a career out of it. A lot of relievers now, cutters and curveballs.
Tampa Bay, remember? That was the first spot back, only for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the end of the, 2021 season. Yeah, and then had some success in a few different spots. Strong playoff performer in 2022 with the Phils.
So think about this. I mean, interrupt you, but when we played the Twins in that playing game when I was with the Yankees in 2017, Severino, he got ousted. He only got one out in the first inning. He came in and threw 3 innings. We had a bullpen day, and he locked everybody down. He's a guy that will pitch when he's called. He's not the dude out there like, oh, man, I'm supposed to be the 9th inning guy, 8th inning guy. Okay, if that happens, so be it. But he will come in the 6th, 7th, 8th inning. He's a team guy, and that's what I love about him. He's funny as all heck, and he's got that goofiness, that nerdy goofiness about him that, these guys are going to really enjoy in Texas. Him and DeGrom together, I can't wait. They're going to have a good time.
And he can close. Right, he can do that 5th, 6th, whatever. He can close for you.
He's up to do whatever is what I'm saying, without any problems.
Upper 30s. He makes more this coming season, than he did last year, coming off a great 2022. But with the Mets, he signed for 1 year, $10 million. And then this year, his agent AJ did a great job. I mean, he got him a little raise to 11 or 12 mil from the 10
Good.
the year before.
He deserves it. He's been solid.